So many pets are living longer these days, and that's good news, but it also means cancer rates among pets are going up.
Yeah, nearly half of all dogs get cancer at some point in their lives, and luckily there's now a facility here in Las Vegas where cutting-edge medicine is being practiced to resolve the deadliest, most complicated veterinary challenges.
The I-Team's George Knapp is here to tell us about it.
Not your typical I-Team story, but it's fun. It's called the Veterinary Referral Center. There is nothing else like it in our state. It's the place where other vets send their trickiest cases, and you're about to see why. In every cage and in every corner, there's a story that'll break your heart.
She's a cute little girl, though.
Autumn is usually the orneriest of cats, but the cancer in her liver looks like it's spread to her bones, so she's less of a pistol than normal. This horse of a dog, sacked out in the operating room, is waiting to have his leg amputated so the tumor doesn't spread further. Sad faces, scared faces, dogs and cats on their last legs, and others on the mend, looking a bit embarrassed by their hospital garb.
Nurses with them 24 hours a day.
Nearly every case that comes to veterinarian Dave Mason is a referral from other vets in town. This is where the special cases are sent, the medical mysteries and lost causes, because the center is a cutting-edge facility.
It looks like an operating room in a hospital.
It's exactly the same size, same equipment, basically the same anesthetic protocols and machines as well. We consider that we can do pretty much everything that the human doctors can do.
That means they have a CAT scan for cats and dogs.
Actually, it's like a digital camera.
Digital X-ray capabilities and an MRI machine made especially for animals.
It's actually one of only 7 or 8 in the country.
This pooch on the examination table had screws put in his neck to fix a birth defect that made it hard for him to walk. Just a couple of days after the surgery, he was up and around. The oncology room is the only one of its kind in southern Nevada. For animals like Autumn, the odds are pretty long, but at a minimum, the staff knows how to make her final days as pain-free as possible.
We can cure some of them, but if they a lot of them, it's buying more time, keeping them comfortable, and kind of keeping them as good as they can be for as long as possible.
The center has its own blood bank, too, and its own blood drives, so there's a supply on hand for dog and cat surgeries. Every day, gut-wrenching stories unfold here, but profound successes as well.
I haven't had one day as a veterinarian that I wished I did something different. So most times with people's attraction to their animals and how important they are to them, most people leave here smiling, and we've done a really good job.
One goal is to not even let the animals know they're being treated for something. Therapy disguised as chasing a ball around the backyard. He's playing here.
He's having a blast.
Zandor is a very special patient, a member of the Metro Canine Unit, here to rehab a torn ACL. Over the next few months, Zandor will get to know his vet tech, Maria Sheenus, pretty well. The center is filled with shiny, high-tech equipment, but it all boils down to caring people who got into the business because they love animals.
You feel pretty good about helping the dog like Zandor.
My mind never stops working. Like even this morning, I'm thinking, what do I have to do? And yeah, it's very satisfying. This is a job that we work intimately with the owners. They're right here with us, and we show them the exercises to do at home, and they can see the progress of their animal, and they feel good about it.
So we got a little introduction there to Zandor, the Metro police dog in this story. He is not the only police dog being treated at this center. Roscoe, a drug dog with Metro, has been diagnosed with lymphoma, which is far more common in dogs than you might imagine. Tonight at 11, we'll introduce you to these 4-legged police officers and their handlers and update you on their brave battle to get back to work. And we're putting a number of assorted links on our website, including one about the need for blood. It's even more acute for dogs and cats than it is for people. And I guess, and don't quote me on this, but if you make a donation from your pet, that pet's covered for blood for the rest of its life.
Yeah. Oh, my cats would love to go down there and do that.
Well, just hang out.
Yeah, really. It's wonderful. You know, some of the best people in the world are vets.
I'm sure your cats would love that water tank, too, right?
Oh, yeah. Thanks, George.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, you know, police agencies spend thousands of dollars to raise and train those special dogs that are used in those canine units. But what happens to those animals when they get old or even sick?
In Las Vegas, they get sent to Veterinary Referral Center, which uses cutting-edge technology and top-notch people to patch the dogs up, get them back to work, or at least make their lives a little easier.
And George Knapp of the I-Team got an inside look at a very special place.
Anyone who dreads doctor visits might wonder why Zandor is so anxious to see his vet.
You wouldn't know he's a big, tough police dog.
As the glass tank fills with water, he can barely contain his enthusiastic moans. He's got a lockjaw grip on a green rubber kitty and seems to think this is a game, not therapy, even when the treadmill starts up.
You know, when he's at work and he's out doing his thing, he's a totally different dog.
And it's work that led Zandor to the Veterinary Referral Center. He and his handler, Rick Vorse, are key members of Metro's nationally ranked canine unit, which often partners with SWAT. Xander is a 10-year-old Belgian Malinois, a very serious hombre when he's on duty.
In the 6 years that we've been together, he's found about 80 bad guys, anywhere from people who have committed murders, bank robbers, car thieves, burglars.
While in pursuit of a stabbing suspect a few months ago, Xandor got a little carried away and tore his ACL.
He decided to play wonder dog, and he jumped over my head and said, "Look, Dad, I can fly."
He cornered the bad guy but came up lame. Vorse took him to the vet. The vet referred him to this center, sort of the Mayo Clinic for special animals.
Frankly, if I was in trouble, I'd want him to come and rescue me. But I have a special place in my heart for Xandor.
After a dip and a treadmill trot, Xandor is given a multi-person massage. We should all have days like this. And then Officer Vorse puts him through some paces in a makeshift obstacle course. Down the hall, one of Xandor's canine colleagues is grappling with a different challenge. His name is Roscoe, and he's got a nose for trouble.
You know, when you pass a dumpster, we smell trash. The dog will pass a dumpster and he'll smell every individual odor in there. He'll smell what toppings are on that piece of pizza that's laying on the top of the trash. He'll smell the dirty diaper, the tennis shoe.
Let me have a listen to his heart and lungs.
Roscoe, a 10-year-old Springer Spaniel, is a superstar drug sniffer, able to ferret out the most secret of hiding places. Like the other canine officers, Scott Murray lives with his police dogs. He and Rick Vorse spend more time with their canine partners than with their spouses, and they learn to deal with the good and the bad. For Roscoe, the news is
I
bad.
was petting him on the couch one day, and I was scratching him in the back of the leg here, and I noticed a lump.
The lump was cancer, lymphoma.
It is very serious, yep.
Veterinarian Andrew Vaughn has been overseeing chemotherapy for Roscoe. The trickiest part for a dog like this one is to make sure the treatment isn't worse than the disease. It's important that Roscoe is able to keep on working, not only for the community, but for himself.
Such a big part of their lives is working, and so we try to make sure that they don't lose that component of their lifestyle, because that's what they love doing. That's what they live for.
Both Roscoe and Xandor are at an age when some departments retire their dogs, especially dogs that have serious health issues. Scott Murray says there was never a question of getting rid of these two.
Roscoe's in a crate in the back.
The Vet Referral Center sees a lot of injured police dogs. Some of the treatments and therapies can be very expensive for sure, but the alternative could be more costly.
Getting those animals back to work and not having to buy new dogs and retrain them, it's a huge amount of benefit to the town as well.
Not to mention that it's great to have these guys around. George Knapp, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Here's an update on the two police dogs. Xandor is already back at work, tracking down suspects. Roscoe is still taking it easy, but his handler says he could be back on the job very soon. The chemotherapy has not affected his ability to sniff out crime. If you'd like more information about the center or about canine cancer, check the links on our website. We also have a link to the center's blood bank operation for pets.